Hello, hello, everyone. Down with the hound. Oh, character not moving. Reacting. No. Hello, hello. There you go. He's reacting. Hello, hello, hello. This is completely new to me. Up. I have this. Oh, I love that. I see the five voice. Oh, I love that. I see the five voice. Oh, I love that. I see the five voice. You guys hear me? You guys hear me?
Michigan to kill
You guys
moose.
hear me?
Michigan to kill moose.
Okay. It's all new to me, so I've never done this before, so no clue if I'm doing this right. It's all new to me, so I've never done this before, so no clue if I'm doing this right. It's all new to me, so I've never done this before, so no clue if I'm doing this right. It's all new to me, so I've never done this before, so no clue if I'm doing this right. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio, me and the video. Airdropping them. Call of
Had to
Duty.
go to a proctologist because of hemorrhoid. Doctor gave me a cream and said, "Tell your boyfriend to go easy on you or I'll be seeing you every week," and laughed. My face went, "How does he know?"
Hmm.
Or you'd be surprised by how much medical professionals know about you and your body. In fact, and I am not making this up, okay? A very experienced dentist
Like
can
getting
actually
hemorrhoids.
tell if you sucked a peen recently, so be careful out there. You like sinning, don't
I'm
you?
gonna lower the
I mean,
volume
Jesus
a little
died
bit.
for us.
Let me know if you guys can hear this, please. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Like you guys, I know my audio is working. The desktop's working, but hopefully you can hear both of them. Pat, please let me know.
Sins, right? If we don't commit sins every once in a while, Jesus would have died for nothing.
The
So
boy
keep
kissing
sinning,
me.
my friend. Let
He
us
loves
not
that one.
let
That's like
Jesus'
that meme
death
is
be
just
in
blown up.
vain.
Quality sleep means that we are 100% there. We love playing with our kids.
Who designed Killer Croc and Beware for Batman? How do I thank them and ask for more? Yeah, looking at this hunk of leather and muscle, his art designer was a furry, non-stop. You can't give an anthropomorphic reptile a pair of pecs that could crush soda cans and not be a furry. Me thinking everyone is out and I'm the only person in my dorm.
Oh
Meet
no.
a fluffy, possibly friendly demon in my closet. I see you touching yourself. Oh my god, it's you again! Stop watching me touch myself! That is weird! Stop it! Either help me out or make like a tree and leave. God damn it! Any last words? Can I call you mommy while you stab me?
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
You know what? Just to spite him, don't stab him. In fact,
Yes.
just put away your knife and walk away.
That's so
Because
weird.
no
I don't
amount
get
of
those
bloodshed
capabilities.
is worth fulfilling this guy's fantasy. Just walk away. Oh my god, my roommate is a big cat.
Oops.
Squish. Hi? Wow, what big teeth and sharp. Please stop. Fucks. Anxiety. They are roommates, Your Honor. And I do believe that these roommates are madly in love with each other. I declare them to be gay and adorable. I sentence them to a life of happiness and fortune. Let's stretch our legs. Swing. And here we see
That
the
must be a Super
last few
Smash Bros.
seconds of
reference.
this duot being alive before mercilessly getting beheaded by a well-aimed axe kick from this Blaziken. The poor bastard, he never saw it coming. So, what's your type? My type? Femboys. Blood type. Oh. When your horny self takes control and all of the common sense just drains away from your body, where do all that common sense go? Well, to your penis, of course. Where else? Philippines is so resilient that a planetary-sized macro can handle onto it for so long. And I am fully convinced that if this is happening, my fellow Filipinos would be clamoring to get the best selfie shots of this. We are a resilient people as Filipinos, but when it comes to natural disasters, we would shrug that off like dust from our shoulders like it's nothing. Have you seen that picture
Anyone else
with
here from the
the
Philippines?
bingo thing and it's flooded? Yeah, that's us. That's basically us.
My
There's
God.
a lot of important things to us Filipinos, and it's bingo. A flood is not gonna stop that.
Get that.
Me, after typing "bread me daddy" instead of "breed me daddy," and then your daddy just ends up eating you because
I
you're
know.
bread now. But that's okay. Vor seems to be in your list of fetishes.
I
It's
don't like
equal
Vor.
opportunity
like Vor at
eating.
all.
Yes. Doing research about Club Penguin's niche RP fandoms, and you can't convince me this guy wasn't a proto-Tumblr sexy man. This,
We got pedo.
oh god, he's actually kind of hot. What the hell? Also, segueing away from my horny thoughts for a bit, there's a Club Penguin roleplay fandom? You know, you would think being a furry for 3 years would make me prepared for surprise like this, but no. Apparently, I still have a lot to learn.
Furry? Anthro aficionado. Me being a silly little cat online instead of doing my responsibilities.
That's how I am all the time.
God, I need a dragon girl to sit on my lap and shove her tongue down my throat. The power supply is busted. You're gonna have to get a new one. He is so hot. 2013, 10-year-old Cordy. She's so cute. I wish I could go talk to her. 2023, 20-year-old Cordy. Man, I wish I could rail that guy. Would you let me see your card details, please?
God damn, that's the
Pass
one.
me your card number, Onagai. When does it expire? Ooh. Oh, and those 3 numbers on the back. What do they say? I can't read it. Arigato, senpai.
Rigby, did you eat
Some
all
type
the
of scammer.
cookies?
Or is this?
Of course not. See? I saved one. Don't you
Was that supposed to say woo?
Huh, thanks, dude. Now this is a classic. Ever had that one friend that eats all of your food? Just eat some of it off his mouth. Not only would you share the food, you could also develop a complicated attachment with each other, and that may or may not lead to you falling in love. Ain't that sweet?
Yeah,
I'm not gay, you know? Me neither. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Here lies Donkanon. I am not gay. You know what? Kudos to him. Credit where credit is due. He
Big game
kept at
gay
it,
chicken.
fought off the gay thoughts till he reached the grave. Although he did spend some of his time being inside of somebody, but that's besides the point. He's not gay, everyone. At lunch. Huh? What are those? Antidepressants. Oh, you don't look depressed. Nah. Okay, could anyone just do me a favor here? If you're on antidepressants and you hear someone say this to you, just, just slap them across the mouth. It's okay to hit them because they're stupid. And hitting them and telling them why they're stupid will possibly make them less stupid. Hopefully.
But I'm
If
not
not, you could just hit them
antidepressants.
again. Pathogen.
Oh,
Why
no,
is
they're
it
pathogen.
glowing? Do I want to know why it's glowing? Is this dragon splooge? Pourquoi suis-je francois? Ew, why are you French? Why are you French? I don't want to be.
No. Too funny.
What's wrong with being French? They gave us baguettes and Celine Dion.
Really?
What's wrong with being French, guys? Come on. Me, watching people lose their shit after someone tells them this rat is a guy. See, if your default reaction to finding out that Reggie is a guy after simping for him is to violently lose your mind, then you are not being honest with yourself. You slipped up. Your preferences have now been exposed, and there's no way to hide them anymore. Just live with the reality. You like femboys and you're gay. Regular Hooters? Nah. Femboy Hooters?
Hell yeah.
Hell
Love femboy.
yes. What I love about Femboy Hooters is that it could potentially be a thriving business. In a perfect world where homophobia doesn't exist, Femboy Hooters would dominate the fast food industry. It would be big.
I should make a
goddamn
femboy
McDonald's.
Hooters in real life.
Hell, as a Filipino, I would probably even say probably bigger than Jollibee. Probably. Hey cutie, wanna hang out with me? Cabidon. Or I can debone and taste you all night long. Rawr. Warning, cougar. Okay, I'm having the most confused boner ever here. Help me out. As someone who is into
Yo,
older women,
homie?
this is a bit of
Damn.
a turn on for me, but
Hold up,
being
let me
someone
pause
who
this.
doesn't like getting eaten,
Alright. Hey, Chinchilla guy, what's up? Let me know if you're able to hear this. Like, I know my mic is working. Hopefully you can hear the audio from the desktop. Like, you know, you can hear the actual YouTube video. This is my first time ever doing a reaction video to one of these things, so I'm learning on the fly. I literally just made this up in like 5 minutes, so it probably doesn't look very good. Doing push-ups? Okay, push-ups. Which way? I literally just made this up in like 5 minutes. I hope it's working. I had to get my mic working again. My mic is the thing. My mic is like a bane in my existence, man. It's like one of the reasons why I don't like streaming sometimes, because I'd be streaming and then my mic dies, and then I have like 2-3 hours of audio missing. All right. Never done this before, so all this is kind of jankish. Let's see. There you go. Shout out to you, Chinchilla God. Back. Neck.
I'm kinda disturbed by it.
You could go to Grainger.com to find what you need to get the job done. Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry.
Alright, let's try another video. Some more furry memes.
Isn't R34 like a car or something? Oh, you wee child. You wee bonny child.
Yeah.
The
Airline
dark
R34.
forces of the internet haven't corrupted your mind yet. I pray to the deity Anubis
no,
to
that's
keep your
go back to
purity, and
Yep.
may the cold hands of the internet shall never
Yeah,
lay
man.
upon you.
It gets like, it always gets like old ass clips.
Hi, everyone. Did you know that in terms of dumb fish juice? So basically, you took a Pokemon and
Vodka
you turned
for-
it into an alcoholic. Great. That's just great. You do know this means
That's like, I think
that
the
you
absolute
can never
vodka.
ever be able to put your pee-pee in her anymore, right? You do
Two
know that,
14
right?
days, yeah.
She's clearly drunk now. Her consent isn't valid anymore. Furries, when the 20-inch cock sends them to the hospital instead of giving them immense pleasure. Because there is no cock like horse
Daddy,
cock.
follow
Send
my
your
freezer right now.
asshole into
Nice.
shock. More like send your asshole into mountains of medical bills. Food for thought. If it's too big that you can't even put it in your mouth, what makes you think that it could be a good idea to shove it up your tinky winky? What
Yeah, let me know-
anti-furs
let me know
call you
how
a
the
fun
audio
degenerate
sounds.
just for having a fun hobby. I hear you, but I'm just not listening. You know what these?
Let me know if like the
these
audio
people
mixing
use fatherless
working.
as an insult has the same vibe as the guy who thinks he's badass and needs to broadcast it on the internet for some reason. Do you think they're compensating for something?
Pull that down a little bit.
Something that they don't have
There you go. So it looks like it's a little less loud.
If your girl is thick, has cute fangs, and is a goth, then that is not your girl. That's
Giratina, lord of the distortion world, bow down to his whim, and he shall grant you powers beyond your wildest comprehension. Fear the dragon centipede.
If you get a handy from a deaf person, it technically counts as oral, right? I miss weed. Shut up and take my upvote. You know what? I will do you one better. In Tears of the Kingdom, when Link receives Raru's right hand, if Link jerks off with that hand, does that mean it was Raru that jerked him off? So many furries in one flight. Tag them if you know them. I object to that many furries being on the same plane because if there were an accident, it could basically cripple the American IT industry in an instant.
Wow,
And
you
I
know
would
that.
like to
So many
say this
furries
is an
in
exaggeration, but
IT.
it's not. I would hope it's not, but I know some furries in friend circles, and at least I know one of them, or
Yeah,
maybe
it's
6 of
crazy.
them
Like some furries are super rich
have
as fuck
worked in
or
IT.
super
So
poor.
there's a little bit of a
Unfortunately,
difference.
I'm one of the poor ones.
Guys literally want
I don't have
one
a good
thing,
job.
and it's freaking beautiful. Oh, they're snuggling on a bed, and there's a butt. I'm gonna censor that. Oh no, but yes. Sometimes all it takes to get away
That
from
Nick
it
and
all
Judy
is
from
bury yourself within the
Zootopia.
arms of a person that you trust, your favorite person in the world. I mean, you don't have to be like naked, like these two are doing, but if you want to amplify the experience, I would highly suggest that. When the dragon says it's her turn to be on top. Hello, darkness,
Anyway,
my old friend.
seen Donkey's face.
I've come to talk with you
That's funny.
again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still
I
remains
think this joke's going on a little too long.
within the sound of silence. When you and old personas meet, so I'm gonna be a girl? Yeah. Do I still have a massive cock? Hell yeah. These two look cute as hell. Oh my god, especially the bear one. God damn. They should date each other. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. It's they're basically the same person. It's kind of weird, but are they though? They're kind of different in some places.
like two different people,
I
pretty
say
much.
they should date. See where it leads to. No
Nope.
dick sucking in the library. Well, it's probably because you suck too loud. I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, it's in the heat of the moment. You feel like the real throat good of the library, but also you gotta kind of have.
And how many people are
respect the
sucking dick in the
people
library?
who are
And
there
that
to
loudly,
actually
too.
read. You know, it's kind of distracting when you're reading the book of To Kill a Mockingbird and you hear some. You know, it's kind of distracting. Also, the fact that they even let you back in shows just how lenient they are with you. Be thankful, my lovely bunny girl. Is that a remote in your pants? Or are you just happy to see me? Huh? Yeah. It's concerning that you would keep something like that in there. Why was that in there? What do you know about this remote that you're not telling us? Tell us your secrets. The perfect date doesn't exist. Oh, is that a Chardonnay for moi? Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Furry. My, what a lovely eyes you have tonight. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Looks like a furry,
You're not
Hey.
looking at lascivious images of anthropomorphic women on the computer again, are you? Why, yes. Yes, I am. I have been a very naughty boy, Mother Fatima. I assume that your name is. Why don't you come over here with your long, hard
Sexy
yardstick
furry
and
nun.
spank the demons out
pretty
of
hot.
me? Yes. I'm so going to hell for that one. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Gender and sex are the same thing. I don't recall having gender with your dad last night. I feel like that's the most savage thing you could do to anyone. It's just to seduce their parents and basically wreck their home. It's effective, but the
And that
aftermath
bitch
can
got
also backfire on you, so I wouldn't exactly endorse it.
Okay.
Hey, nice guys or bad boys? Nice guys, because they treat me better. Is he a nice guy? Yeah, he's a great guy. Though, he's bad and bad. Why you gotta out your boy like that, man? What did he do to deserve that? Jesus! Apologize. With
Why
the
is he bad in
throat.
bed? Why?
Canadian Forces, happy #International Cat Day. Yes, we do have a super secret and very special cat ops team. However, getting them to follow commands is providing
That's hilarious.
difficulty.
Love that.
God, this looks AI'd to hell and back. Jesus Christ. I just gotta know, okay? I just gotta know. Like, I want you guys to be honest with me right now. Does this look even remotely good? It has
I mean, it
no
looks
depth,
cool to
no
me.
inspiration, no soul. But you know what? Let me know what you think in a
Who doesn't want to
comment
see furry?
I will exchange my furry gay homework folder for a blue sky invite code. #blue sky invites. #blue sky code. Speaking of blue sky, I want to take this moment to thank Hot Gothics coming in clutch. He's my friend on Twitter, coming in clutch with a blue sky invite code.
Yes,
You
I'll
now
have Blue Sky invite.
If you have Blue Sky yourself, please go down the description and give me a follow and help me spread the gospel of the furries through memes and general degeneracy. Yes. Anthropomorphic Pokemon are marketed towards furries. Change my mind. And I don't really have to change your mind because I goddamn agree with you. Because if you look at an Incineroar and you don't think its design caters to furries, then you are blind as hell and you need to go to a doctor. I wouldn't be surprised if Game Freak or Nintendo's gross incomes come from furries. I lied. There is no sex. We're watching Rango.
Never seen Rango. I don't know how good or bad that shit.
Bit. Rango is this movie. I think was majorly slept on. I mean, yeah, it's nothing like
has Johnny
Puss in
Depp in
Boots:
it.
The Last Wish, but it's still good. It has some redeeming qualities. It managed to mix the good parts of comedy and serious Western elements, and not to mention, they have a rattlesnake voiced by Davy Jones. What more could you want?
Oh, damn it. Let's see, what else do I want? Watch some more furry memes or watch something else? I guess I haven't done any of this stuff before, so no clue, no, what I'm doing. Go on my YouTube, see if there's anything. Also, stuff about video games, some stuff about politics, stuff like that. Ooh, what the hell? Sounds interesting. I'm gonna check this. Ooh boy, I'm already liking it. I wanna get my hand on this.
I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. This is the 6-hour SG553P. It's Swiss. Can't go wrong with a Swiss gun. I did a video on the Big Brother version of this about a year ago, and I called it If Rolex Made a Rifle. Essentially, if Rolex were to make a rifle, it would be this particular gun. Now, and this is no different. It's just a different model of tactical Rolex. These
I
are
love
the
the
guns where
clear
I
see-through mag
awarded
on it.
almost purely because of the way it looked. I get a lot of my motivation for guns from movies. I'm unapologetic about it. If I see a
Alright, so I'm gonna do a quick BRB. I'm a little thirsty. Grab me something to drink. BRB, guys. Oh man, look at me. Tokyo Drift around these pieces. The Japanese would.
Whoa there! Hello there! Would you like to join me and my family?
Hey, you might take the prize.
Oh my god. I got wombo combo, man. No! Shit, let's get the fuck out. Oh my god. That scared the shit out of me, man.
Ranges. Go ahead, I don't care.
Oh, what? Wolf fighting wolf, huh? Bad news, my friend. Alright, I need to kill that guy quickly. Shut. I might only see this random floating guy here. Can someone clip this, please? Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Ran out of ammo. Fuck. Damn. The game's glitched right now. Oh, damn it, game. God, I hate lockpicking. Are you shit? Are you? Oh! No. No, Jesus fucking Christ. You need to turn around for that. Yes. I didn't think I would do this thing. No. Oh God, hit me. I need to play. Oh no. Oh, let's see. Well, you can clip that, my friend. You can clip that and put it on the stream. Kill the Argonians. See. One, 2. No. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 1. Oh! I hear the bar. Oh no. Oh, what the fuck is this check? What is it? On the sinkhole cave. Alright, bitch, you dead. I have this. Oh, I love that. I see the buy boys. Man, these bitches be hungry and thirsty all the time, man. Yeah. Thank you. Alright. Teabag your ass. Right. Yeah.
So, what will you do now that this task is done?
Done? That was to announce my arrival. Now I leave this world. Enjoy your life. To Asgard!
What? Wait!
Thank you!
What? He just fucking killed himself. What a fucking idiot.
Thor's hammer. That was a shock.
Furry games, man. Furry games are big ass damn. Wow, you know what I mean? Oh god, she looks so fucking ugly. She looks like the fucking girl from The Ring or something like that. I might only see this random floating guy here. Can someone clip this, please? Hello there, welcome. Boy, let me know if this is, you know, working for you.
A gun in a movie and I don't have it and I like it, I'm like, ooh, I want that one. And then I'll try to figure out a way to get it. So this one has been on my list for a while. I don't even remember the movie where I saw it. I just remember seeing it and be like.
Before you finish watching this video, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, We the People Holsters.
That looks really cool.
We the People Holsters is the
Big.
kiss of Kydex holsters. Keep it simple, stupid, and more affordable than other offerings while still getting the job done.
I want to buy one.
That is unless you're a little extra and like having fancy prints on your holsters, because they can accommodate your tactical narcissism too. The world of holsters can become overwhelming very quickly. Not everyone wants to spend $100 on a holster for each one of their guns. So, if that's you, be sure to check out We the People Holsters. And thank you, We the People Holsters, for sponsoring the channel. All the ammo used in this video was brought to you by Nosler, maker of the most innovative,
I'm also eating a little bit of
accurate,
food and
most effective
drinking.
bullets and ammunition in the industry.
I love the aesthetics.
Drinking
of
my
that
nerd
rifle.
energy.
I genuinely do. And what I didn't realize is when I got it.
In the military, I dipped the entire time I was there. A lot of us.
That I would also love the way that it's shot. So, you know how they say don't meet your heroes? This is kind of one of those rifles, and this is kind of not one of those rifles, and here's why. I love the way this rifle looks. There are people who really think this rifle looks disgusting, or it's like meh. I think anybody who doesn't like the way this rifle looks probably wears Christmas sweaters in the middle of the summer in Texas. I think objectively, this is one of the best looking rifles ever.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I said it. This is as subjective as it is. It's like an AK with a little bit of AR. You know, I said the same thing in the last video when I did the bigger brother, because it is a long stroke piston system, and it rocks, magazines rock in like an AK, as you can see here. I can couple the magazines. It has the magazine paddle release here. It just, everything is big and clunky and just,
Yeah, I really wish I had it. Good job. You buying so many cool guns. Going to a
and it's not even that it shoots like incredibly flat. That's not what it is. It's just the recoil impulse in this gun is so predictable that I don't have to do anything. It just that's what it does. It just it's stupid. It's stupid. It just kind of dances in a little circle.
I remember this gun from, I think the bigger one, from Counter-Strike.
Oh.
It was one of my favorite guns. I think it was also in Rainbow Six Vegas.
But it's so predictable that I freaking love it. And all I want to do whenever I shoot this gun is just mag dump on target. Man, I need more ammo. I'm gonna get some more ammo. Give me a second. Yeah, it was. The thing about this gun is they are not readily available because they have to be imported. They're currently imported by a good friend of mine by the name of Dave Wagner from JDI Imports, and he imports these in batches. So you kind of have to like wait for the drop. They're kind of like Supreme releases, right? Like they'll drop and then people will scoop them up and then they'll disappear. And then there'll be another drop and then they'll scoop them up and then they'll disappear. Because there is a huge fan base for these rifles. Largely because one, they aren't readily available like an AR-15 and so forth and so on. And it makes for a great departure, a refreshing departure from the typical AR-15s and AK-47s. This sits in between.
I wish, you know, more AKs were more available. Same with SIGs, FNLs.
A lot more personality than an AR-15.
Belials.
I love ARs. I freaking love them. But this here has a personality, or as they like to say, the je ne sais quoi. I'm telling you, man, this thing, it just sits, just bounces, just that little tight circle. Now, the gun's heavy. It's overbuilt, so it's heavy. And then I made it worse by adding this quad rail system. This actually comes with like polymer frames, polymer grips. I took those off and put these on, thinking I was gonna sexy it up. I was gonna put a light and pads and switches and all of that great jazz and lasers. I did that and I realized it just made this gun way too heavy and less enjoyable. So I took them all off, and I almost might be going back to the polymer grips as well, just because that look is so clean and effortless, and
yeah,
gives
man.
me a little bit.
It looks so good.
Takes away a little bit of that weight that I feel with this here.
Oh, look, he's talking to Venus Swami as well, so I might as well check that video. I don't really like Venus Swami. He seems like a snake in grass. I don't like many Republicans, because most of them are just terrible.
I love this.
So we have two good platform ideas.
So badly want to make this like
a little bit stricter on the border, and you know, much more open on gun rights.
I have to be honest with myself and say
gun importation. That's it.
Really feasible, at least for me, considering the options that I have. I need to put an adjustable stock on here. This does fold. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. The thing is brutally functional.
Can you shoot it like that?
Itself. But when it comes to the ergonomics and the features that you usually get with an AR-15, I'm gonna pick an AR-15 over this. However, I do really, really enjoy this gun. I love the way the grips look. I'm not the biggest fan of the angle of the grip. I think it's a little too aggressive. The trigger is something that I did not like initially, but then I started liking it. Let me show you why. As you can see here, you got this little trigger stop back here, and then you have the trigger, so it's a very smooth trigger. You get this break here, and that's a wall. The wall's not very definable, and there's almost like a false wall. There's a wall here that feels like it's a wall, and then you have that. So it's almost like you have two walls. Actually, there's like three walls to this trigger. You got the first one, you got this, 1, 2, 3, like this. But when you start running it, and you run it without thinking about it, and you shoot past those walls, the trigger just glides. Just glides. It's like just watching a ski. So it's like watching a skier just go downhill. It just glides so effortlessly smooth. I freaking love it.
This gun looks so fucking awesome. I get my hands on it. Well, and a bunch of other guns too. I really want to start buying, like, you know, AKs, deals.
So, another thing that makes this thing very AK-like is, of course, the charging handle. Charging handle is reciprocating. Some people hate that. I genuinely don't like a reciprocating charging handle. However, on this gun, it doesn't bother me. I said it in another video of the bigger brother. A lot of times I don't even realize the charging handle is actually reciprocating because I'm so enamored by how the gun shoots. I just enjoy shooting so much that the talking is just interrupting my shooting experience, honestly. This is a fun gun. It's a fun gun, and the thing about it is it's very multifaceted from the standpoint that, yes, it's a very functional gun. The Swiss use this gun. A lot of them have this gun because it is their version of what we consider our AR-15. Now, that being said, I mean, it still has a collectability aspect to it. It has just the inherent fun of shooting it aspect of it, and then just the inherent beauty of it, the way it looks. To me, it's just so killer. I will say I'm not a fan of the safety. Safety, and the reason I'm not a fan of the safety is that there's nothing wrong with the safety, but because of the aggressiveness of this angle grip, I have a hard time reaching it with my thumb. So I don't know if that's the safety or my hobbit-sized hands that I like to refer to. That's another thing. This thing, it's so balanced that you can drive the gun very accurately from target to target without kind of overshooting the target. Like if I'm gonna go from target to target, go here, boom, boom, boom. Like it just drives. Like I love it. It's
It's like a really good gun,
need more
man.
ammo. Oh.
Definitely want to get my hands on this one. Yeah. Give myself a nice good job real soon.
Do that again.
Finish paying off my student loan debt, man. I've been having my eyes on guns for a long time. I just had a better job back then, and maybe not even go to college. It would have been better not to go to college at all.
God damn. I love this gun. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Man, to this day, I remember seeing this for the first time, seeing this platform in Houston. And I remember it caught my eye then. And then after I saw that movie is when I said, I absolutely have to have it. Now, because there's not a lot of them available, and the people that have them don't sell them, it's not cheap. You're looking anywhere from $35,000 to $5,000 in order to get your hands on one of these bad boys. And then that's assuming you can get it whenever they get a drop. And they make this in 762 by 39. They make it in 300 blackout. I want one of these in the 300 blackout tan version, to be honest. I'm not at the point I'm ready to pony up for it, but
I had the money, I would pony up.
It's just there's no rhyme, there's no reason for it. You just like it, and I think you really only understand that if you're a gun person. And I'm not even just a gun person, but a gun enthusiast, because you hit a point where you're like, you could find reasons to buy guns without even thinking, and then sometimes you don't even really know why you want it. You just want it. Right?
Yeah, I know. That's how I am.
And I think what makes purchases like that with firearms so easy is because even though I can go and just buy a firearm without any true reason for getting it, it still has a functional utility. It still can serve as something that protects my life. It's still something that I can use and go hunt with if I needed to. And do a bunch of other things, my recreation and all of those things. So, and then on top of that, if I really wanted to go ahead and sell it, it holds its value relatively well. So making these kind of impulse purchases on firearms, to me, makes a lot of sense. You'd be hard pressed to find any other thing that you can just make impulse purchase on that give you the functionality of a firearm while still giving you the satisfaction of going out and shooting, enjoying, and looking at it.
That's true. I mean, the only other thing might be a car. Like some cars hold a value.
I have no idea where it fits in my collection. I have no idea what its purpose is. I thought I would make it like a go-to. It doesn't really fulfill that space because I have things I do better than that. However, sometimes I just walk into my gun room and I see this sitting there and I'm like, I want to shoot that today. And so that's what I do. The SD553P. Now I gotta pick up all these goddamn magazines.
Load a little translucent.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.
I'm gonna put the little box around it. Maybe that might make it look a little better. Okay, yeah, that does look better. This guy.
Recently, I had the opportunity to have a conversation about the Second Amendment
for about an hour.
Presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy. I generally don't make it a point to blatantly endorse a particular politician on my platform. However, I am incredibly open to having any politician come on my platform and have a two-way conversation. And that's what happened here. I do have my preferences and my favorites with respect to different politicians, and sometimes I speak on it, sometimes I don't. But more importantly, my platform is open to any politician that wants to come and have these types of conversations. Here is the conversation I had with Ramaswamy, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation, and hopefully we get more politicians to come onto the platform.
I would love to see how he talks to someone like on the left.
Regarding the Second Amendment.
Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
I know, gun guys love Republicans, even though Republicans backstab them all the time.
Yeah, I've been getting that all my life, so I'm used to it. It's a long name. There's a lot of
symbols in there. So if this does well, I might have to like pick like a maybe like a Saturday or Friday or something like that. Just do a quick hour or two of reactions, maybe to more furry memes or whatever else I like on my YouTube channel.
Oddly, it happens to me too.
Yeah, it does. Coleon, I got that right?
Yep,
Yeah.
now you hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
So, you're running for president.
Yes.
All right. So, generally speaking, what would you say you're...
I'm not a big fan of this guy. This guy like wants to give like private education.
I'm running on reviving our national identity.
Okay.
We have lost our sense of who we are. Right? You and I were both millennials.
Yep.
I'm the youngest person ever to run for president in the Republican Party. And I think the problem in our country is, you know this, you ask people our age, probably people any age in this country, what does it mean to be an American today? You get like a blank stare in response. And that's a void. That is a vacuum. And when you have a vacuum that runs
you can ask that to anyone else in Canada, UK,
we could wokeism, transgenderism, climatism, pick your favorite one. That's what's going on in the country. And I think our solution to that is deliver a vision of American national identity that runs so deep that it dilutes the poison to irrelevance. And the top of that vision is the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, which is the operating manual. That is the greatest source and strongest source of freedom in human history.
It is a very good.
So what would you say to somebody, who's a generation? Constitution, it's outdated.
But unfortunately, Swami and a lot of other opponents don't read, the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. They love combining church and state, which is supposed to be complete. They want to raise the voting age from 18 to 25. Abortion bans, hacking, transgender, gay people, making it much harder for black people to vote, Hispanics. All these things. They say one thing with one side of their mouth. What they do with the other side, all lies. And we saw that, yesterday in yesterday's debate. Want to give it a Department of Education. Want to bring, church and prayers back into schools, ban books, burn books, things like that. Things are pretty terrible. Things you don't want. Yet so many people want it because they're so uneducated. So many Americans are proud to be uneducated, especially in red states. Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, Alabama, a little further up, Tennessee, Mississippi, Missouri, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Idaho, Indiana, Montana, Wyoming, Alaska. It's really sad. People love to be uneducated. They think being educated is better than being. They want to be educated on science, biology, social studies, geography, planet, history, religion. Just really sad. That's what really annoys me. Yet so many people really like these guys. It's kind of annoying.
Matter anymore. Because a lot of you pointed out, a lot of them don't even really.
Thankfully, thanks to Twitter and TikTok, these people are getting roasted all the time.
Or worse, hostile to their identity.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So what would you say to someone like that? Because I'll be honest. Me coming up, I understood the Constitution. I understood it was important. It was an important document. But it wasn't until I got older till I really understood how important that document was.
Yes.
So what would you say to someone like that who's kind of like, why should I care about the Constitution?
Yeah, so it's a good question because that's a big part of what you get from Gen Z.
Yeah.
There's first what I want to do to make sure we don't get that question, which is I think every young person who graduates as a high school senior should have to know the same thing about the country that an immigrant has to know in order to become a citizen of this country. Part of the problem is young people don't value a country that they just passively inherit. And that's not their fault, that's our fault. That's a generation of people who are bringing up our kids, putting them through the educational system, graduating without knowing the first thing about what the country was founded on. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the education system is old and outdated because the reason why it's old and outdated is being starved constantly of money. How, since the year 2000, since put in No Child Left Behind, have we had any type of reform when it comes to education, testing, when it comes to learning, and STEM stuff, science, technology, engineering, math? What about financial education? You want to improve, America, you have to improve financial education. That means 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders understand how to balance a checkbook, understand, about loans, mortgage, know how to invest in a stock, bond, an ETF, IRA. They understand those type of things. That stuff's like really important. Like I don't know a lot of that stuff, and I picked up some things here and there from other people, but I don't have proper education on those type of things. But I wish I was. That'd be really good. If I knew how to have balanced the checkbook really well. Like I know not to get into debt, but unfortunately I had to get into debt to get an education, or the education's not. So, does any young people watching this stream right now, you're about to graduate high school, it might not be worth it to go to college. I don't know. Maybe you can get something out of it, an associate's degree. Like, like a specific associate's degree, like radiologist or welding or something like that. I know there's a lot of good videos on YouTube that talk about some pretty good salaries you can get, like between 60 to like 80K with just an associate's degree in a specific type one. You don't even want to do that. You just want to get something that's even quicker, cheaper, faster. A technical degree, becoming HVAC, plumber, work on wind turbines, solar panels, that type of shit. You may not make as much in the beginning, but we are using more and more green energy, so those jobs are going to be more in demand. They're going to start forming unions, and they're going to be demanding better pay and safety, worker rights, and worker safety, benefits, insurance, all that type of shit. So it might be better for you guys to do that instead. That's what I'm thinking. Like if I knew the hell I'm going through right now compared to where I was back when I left high school, thinking to myself, it's not worth it. Imagine if we had some of these online courses we had for like, data analytics, something like that, those I'm taking one right now. It's cheap. It's like $40 a month, and I'm almost done with it in a couple of months. It's it's very simple. They teach you like kind of the basic stuff about it. Like I knew some of it, but obviously, best way to go into that mindset is just pretend not to know anything. You can pick up all the information, learn it, and hopefully, with that, you can also talk to people and learn how to get a entry level position. Like my friend Jamal, who I just reconnected with, Seattle last week, does that. I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm gonna try to see if I can over the weekend. Well, hopefully, like tomorrow, I can sit down, look at his resume, update my resume, finish up another week of my online course, and and send it to him like, hey, I'm up. Here's my old resume. Here's my new resume. Here's your resume. Am I doing this right? Things like that. One of the things he mentioned was like doing projects, like doing SQL projects and all that, because there's tons of public data out there that you make like a project out of it. Maybe I can do that. Let's get back watching. Let's see what this idiot has to say. Because he may be Indian, he may be Desi, but he doesn't. He seems like he's backstabbing us. Like, he doesn't care about the Hindus, Muslims, Christians,
So I think that when they act
Indian
agnostic,
people. He doesn't care about
I think
India,
it's actually
Pakistan,
a
Sri
symptom of a
Lanka,
deeper self-loathing. This idea that we're
Kashmir,
an imperfect
Bangladesh.
nation. We were founded on slavery. We were effectively built in 1619, not 1776. So being proud of that is actually, in some ways, unjust. You go to Washington,
No, that's
D.C.
true.
in the month of
I
June,
mean,
you'll see more trans flags.
The understanding the history of slavery, it had an impact here on America. Does that mean that's everything that is America? No, it's part of our history. Like, understanding why did settlers who came here, from Europe brought slaves, whether it be the British, French, to Spanish, to Dutch. It's there. And we know we had a bunch of failed colonies, and then slowly over time we started to establish them. And then over time, once we established those colonies, they broke off from Great Britain, became America. America Manifest Destiny went from east to west, north and south, and defeated the Native Americans. Fought against Spanish. He bought from the French because French needed the money to fight Napoleon during the Napoleon Wars, and then after the Napoleon Wars was the French Revolution. And you had more and more immigrants coming from Ireland, Italy, Germany, Britain. So you got more and more. Once we hit the West Coast, you got to get more and more from China, Korea, Japan. Also, by defeating Mexico, there was still a lot of Mexicans in Texas and New Mexico and all that. They don't go away. They become Americans. They're still Mexican American. And we had our arguments with the British and the French and Canada, but Alaska from Russia. So yeah.
Flags. I'm not kidding. Then you will see American flags. I took my son there. The combination of trans flags as well as Ukraine flags outnumbered the number of U.S. flags that we saw in the month of June in Washington, D.C. So what do I tell young people then? Our
why? Oh my God, why are you so mad at trans and Ukraine flags? I mean, there's a reason why we're flying. We have them. We have the American flag. We have that. We have our state flag, Texas. And if you're an immigrant, you probably fly the flag of whatever you come from, Mexico, Germany. At my house would be Pakistani flag. But also at the same time, the reason why people have the Ukraine flag because Ukraine got invaded by Russia, and is a form of imperialism, right? And that's Ukraine's trying to fight. And this guy is talking about, we should just run away, stop funding Ukraine because we should be funding our own border and not Ukraine's border and yada yada. Those stupid dumb arguments. It's the same. Same stupid arguments back in 1939. We should just make peace with Hitler. Let him have, Czechoslovakia, Poland, France, Yugoslavia, Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Belarus, Lithuania, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and most of Belarus went to, Russia, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, went to Russia, but the USSR, want to be exact. Yeah, so he's one of those idiots. And you don't want to appease madmen or dictators. Unfortunately, you had to fight them. Whether it be Hitler, whether it be Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Putin, Lukashenko, whoever. Xi Jinping right now. Fight them. Same in the Middle East. You got Bashar al-Assad. You got Erdogan. You got the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. You got all the kings in UAE and all that. Just being a bunch of fucking assholes. They don't care about us. They don't care about our people. They don't care about taking care of their own people.
Are still our best evidence that we have ideals at all. Right? So if you're going to be a nation built on ideals, because that's what the Constitution enshrines, the Bill of Rights, your favorite amendment, my favorite amendment, my second favorite amendment. First Amendment's my favorite, Second Amendment, second favorite. That is a statement of ideals for a free people. We as human beings are born free. We were made to be free, okay? And so that's the document that enshrines the essence of our humanity, our freedom to pursue our own destiny.
Alright, BRB guys, need to throw away my can and put my dishes away.
So, what will you do now that this task is done?
Done? That was to announce my arrival. Now I leave this world. Enjoy your life. To Asgard!
What? Wait!
Thank you!
What? He just fucking killed himself. What a fucking idiot.
Thor's hammer. That was a shock.
Dore.
I hear the bar. Oh no. No!
Ranges. Go ahead, I don't care.
I have it. Oh, I love that. I see the five boys. Man, these bitches be hungry and thirsty all the time, man. Oh my god. I got wombo combo, man. Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Ran out of ammo. Fuck. Damn. The game's glitched right now. Oh, damn it, game. Shit, let's get the fuck out of here. Oh my god. That scared the shit out of me, man. No, Jesus fucking Christ. You need to turn around for that. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, okay, I'm back. I'm watching this guy. This guy just infuriates me.
And so have we fallen short of that at times in our nation's history? Yes, we have. But you never call Iran or China a hypocrite. Because to be a hypocrite, you had to have ideals in the first place.
I mean,
So don't
Iran
abandon
used to be a
those
pretty good
ideals,
country
don't
until
callous
Ayatollahs took
or
over.
anesthetized
China used to be pretty
to
good.
those ideals.
Fortunately, you had
Celebrate
fight
those
between
ideals. Say, you know what,
Chiang
we're gonna fall
Kai-shek and
short of them
Mao and
because we're
Portugal
human
Mao.
beings, we're not gods, but still run to those ideals because we're the last best hope of a nation that can enshrine those ideals at all. That's what the U.S. Constitution's about.
Love it, love it. Yeah, I remember I had a conversation with Bill Maher, and he asked me, you know, how could I be an African American who espouses the Second Amendment based on the Constitution when it's supposed to be written to control black people? And I go, and then basically I said exactly what you just said in different words, but because of the purity of the language of that document, I sit before you now as one of the most vocal and forward-facing 2A advocates in this country.
I know you are. And it's interesting, I mean, you know, some of this is controversial to go into, but let's go into that claim from Bill Maher. I think I'm going to see him later this week or whenever it is myself, and I respect him because at least even if he's on the left, he still embraces patriotism as a value.
And he's willing to have the conversation.
And he's willing to have the conversation. You know, the Dred Scott case, the case that infamously said that black people could not be citizens before the Civil War, the main justification that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Roger Taney, gave was that would allow black people to.
I didn't know. Oh, dang.
So in a certain sense,
I just noticed I got me a follower, Pergy too. Oh, thank you, Pergy. Thank you for following me. You're able to follow me. Hopefully that means you're able to have a verified account. Hopefully it works. Let me know if it's working. You know if I think huge inception moment right there. Like I said, I've never done this before, so it's all new to me. Hopefully, you know, my audio balancing is pretty good. And like,
you said it, these are words that transcend color, creed. This goes beyond the specific genetic identities we inhabit. And that's also what I even say to some, you know, friends who have different views on the right, where no, this country is not founded on a given ethnicity. I'm sorry, it's not. The beautiful thing about this country is we're founded on a set of ideals that brought together a, yes, diverse, divided, different colored group of people together. It's not our diversity.
But one thing I hope he
strength.
doesn't say, based
Our
on
strength is
Judeo-Christian
what
values.
unites us
Bullshit.
across that diversity. That's what that Constitution is
Separation
all
of
about.
church and state.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm so passionate about it.
No, I love it. I love it. So you mentioned the idea of immigrants. Like I'm come from immigrant parents, and
Where did your parents come from?
Nigeria.
Okay.
Right. So there wasn't really a background of firearms in my background. I didn't grow up with guns.
Believe me, yeah.
Right. There's this.
I don't know about your family, actually. My family, I grew up in a pretty anti-gun household.
Same
actually.
here.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, pretty same. Like I remember when I bought my first rifle, I hid it under my bed.
You did,
But
yeah.
I had a number
How
of
old
guns in
were
my
you?
mom's house, and I was just about to go to law school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was still hiding from
That's
my mother
true.
because
A lot of
those
immigrant
things,
families.
guns,
My parents were super
City
happy when I got mine
against
either. I will say.
Second Amendments. My own
You know,
family.
those firearms symbolize something else. They symbolize them street life, like I was in a gang or something of that sort. But
That's
for
true.
me, it represented something so different. And so my question was going to ask you, like, based on your background and your parents, how would you manage that in terms of helping immigrants who do come to this country, who do look at the gun thing and say, I love America, but I don't understand this gun thing. Why do we need the Second Amendment? Why do we need guns in America?
That's true.
Because that's what I get
I mean,
a lot
that's a nice
from the people
idea to
I know
have.
who are immigrants who come here. They love the country, but they say, why the Second Amendment?
So
I wish one thing we could
because
fix
I
is
think
how healthcare system.
immigrants who come from other democratic nations may be different than immigrants who come from places like Iran, okay, or China or other despotic regimes. Here's why. China and Iran. So I brought them up earlier. Let's use those two examples. Both countries actually, on paper, even in their constitutions, enumerate the same freedoms we have in our Bill of Rights, except the Second Amendment. So the Second Amendment is actually the amendment that puts the teeth into all of the other ones. I went to the NRA meeting and, the guy was trying to quiz me. He says, what does AR-15 stand for? I said, it stands for freedom, actually. That's what it stands for. And you know what? When the British in the American Revolution, where do they want to come? Where the guns and bullets were kept. Because they understand that would have been the source of freedom. Black Americans, after the Civil War, to go what Tani said before the Civil War, after the Civil War, a lot of the main laws that were passed during the so-called Reconstruction era that stopped Black Americans from securing the freedoms that we fought a Civil War to actually secure were the first wave of anti-gun laws that stopped Black Americans from owning guns. So whether it's Iran, whether it's China, whether it's even our own nation at our less proud points in our history.
All right, so let's talk about Iran. Like I think I mentioned earlier, like for 1973, 1979. I forgot the exact year when obviously the Shah was overthrown. This is, and the mullahs were all in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Before that, we had like the Shah, who was the king, and he was pretty well liked, but unfortunately, post World War II, trying to give her a lot of colonization, especially from Britain. Unfortunately, one of the things they want was more revenue of oil. Britain didn't want that, and they went to America and they tried to work out a deal. And the deal was okay, but not enough to ease the very nationalistic, the strong nationalist side of Iran. Just like every other country, like we should own 100% of the oil. We should nationalize it, which I don't approve of. I don't like nationalizing oil and gas because unfortunately, usually that leads to the resource curse. We see it in the Middle East. We see it in Africa, Asia, Russia, where fortunately, the economy is way too dependent on resources. Whether it be exporting oil, gas, LNGs, diamonds, cobalt, copper. Well, look at Venezuela. I know a lot of people say Venezuela is a socialist country. It's not really socialist. It's just, simply put, they bet almost the entire economy, like almost 100%. I'll say like 95% of it just on oil. No diversification. Even Saudi Arabia, which has tons of oil, is doing a much better job of diversification. And with the UAE, Bahrain. Fortunately, Iraq, no, because Iraq is still being plagued by all the bullshit from the Iraq War. Syria, Turkey, Look at Azerbaijan. Look how much they've improved the selling of hydrocarbons. Look how much better they've become. I mean, they're a terrible country, but like if you're just talking about the individuals, their lives have gotten a lot better since the '90s. They understand how to sell hydrocarbons. But yet, then you have countries like Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Nigeria, Niger, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, who have all these resources. I mean, they have a lot of money. They can be just as rich as any country in Europe, but it gets squandered. I know a lot of people want to blame colonization. It'll be from old European days or the new neo colonization from America, Russia, and coming in. Hey, go take your resources. We give you a little bit of money, and you just keep the money, and now it ever trickles down. So let's see. And obviously, China, unfortunately, is much harder because, unfortunately, because we won World War II, and like the Japanese and Germans and the Italians were flying Chiang Kai-shek the national against the communists and against Japan as well. Japan didn't like that Germany and Italy were giving Chiang Kai-shek all this ammo and money and guns and everything. But he's like, hey, but we have to defeat the communists. And like and Japan's like, no, man, don't do that. And I think they stopped. But unfortunately, by stopping, by the time World War II was over, the Chinese, especially them, be very attracted to the ideas of this, this almost utopia for the peasants. No government, everything's owned by everyone. Be much more happier, freer. Yeah, didn't work out. We were able to defeat, Chiang Kai-shek, push them out of the mainland China to Taiwan. Could never capture China. And obviously Mao does his thing, and then you had the Cultural Revolution. I think like in the 1970s, that's when they started destroying a lot of the ancient Chinese history and statues, art, and all that. And I remember that's when they had the Chinese youth had a little red book, that Mao gave to all of them. Then Mao died, and then you had several other people. Need to look their names up and see. By the 1970s, that's when Nixon opens up China to the rest of the world. We start outsourcing a lot of jobs, manufacturing jobs, all that to China. China starts growing. And by the 1980s, all of our jobs have been outsourced. Reagan. And fast forward now, and that's why China's number 2. It used to be Japan, but Japan, unfortunately, the economy blew up in 1999. Yeah, 1990. 1990 and 1990, and had lost ever since. The only reason they have some economic progress is because of domestic use. Foreigners coming in and be like, I want to buy a bunch of weeb shit. So all those weebs buying anime, manga, buying all that seafood, sushi, getting them all them, waifu pillows and shit. Yeah, that's the only reason why Japan has any economic growth. China has been lying about its economic growth. Same with Russia as well. So take that with a huge grain of salt from them. I think India might be also on the same league as well. It makes sense. India also does quite a bit of censorship. So let's move forward. Spend all day talking.
We actually need to provide a backstop, okay, for all of the other rights that are written on a piece of paper. What allows us to secure those rights in real life? The way I explain it to people is it's like the equivalent of when the Cold War, we had this concept of mutually assured destruction, right? The US and Soviet Union would never go to war because each side knew they were subject to destruction by the other. And so that actually gave us the peace that kept the war cold rather than hot. It makes some people uncomfortable when I say this, but I think it's the true spirit of the Second Amendment. That's what happens when you have a relationship between a government and its people. People of sheep breed a government of wolves. That's what the Second Amendment's about. Is to make sure we are not a people of sheep, or else we will have the government we deserve, a government of wolves.
You rarely ever hear anyone in politics say
That's the truth.
There's this idea that the whole Second Amendment is based around sports shooting or even to some degree hunting. But that's not what it was
Funny thing is,
about.
I'm not a guy who does that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
you wouldn't consider yourself a gun guy, so to speak.
No, I mean, I am a Second Amendment guy.
Gotcha.
And that's really more fundamental.
That's a beautiful point because a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
You can be
But
a
a Second
gun
Amendment,
guy and still be
not really a lot of politics.
Oh, I mean, there's
it's
like
very rare, but it happens.
But it can happen, or you could be a gun guy but not know why, right? Like you're just sort of going through the motions. I think I like the Second Amendment, but like, what was that again?
And I think it's more important to be a Second Amendment person.
I mean, that's what the country's built on, right? That goes. Yeah, I mean, people are allowed to have their hobbies. I like to play tennis, play basketball on given days. You know, shooting gun. We just did it right now. We had a lot of fun. It was fun in there. That's not what the Second Amendment's about. The Second Amendment is about our freedom of speech. It is about the freedom to exercise our religion. It is about making sure the government does not knock on my doorstep and search my house without showing up with a warrant that a court actually gave them pursuant to the Fourth Amendment.
You need to get rid of
It is about
Patriot Act.
making sure that which is not reserved to the federal government actually is reserved to the states and to the people. That's what the Second Amendment is about, all the way through the 14th Amendment. To say that nobody, because of your skin color or mine, is going to stop me from showing up at the ballot box and casting my vote. Nobody.
And why
is
do so
gonna
many red
tell
states
somebody in this
down
country
ballot
that they
boxes?
can't travel from one state to another because of their religion or because of their skin color or their beliefs?
But with the
'Cause if
gay or
government
transgender,
overreaches by that much, they know they're going to have.
I love how they always say race or
So what was the Second
religion
Amendment? It
and all
was
that,
built.
but they never mention someone's different sexual orientation or gender. What if I got married to a guy and I moved from Texas to, I don't know, let's say Ohio or Michigan or I don't know, Nevada? Are you gonna ban me? See, this is a slippery slope with all these people. They pick and choose which group they want to protect, but most of the times they don't want to protect any of them. There's lots of dog whistles, especially in the Republican Party against Jewish people. One, obviously, gay people, transgender, women, colored folks, black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Arab. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna trust these motherfuckers all that. So that's how I feel. Don't trust, maybe Swami or a lot of people on the right to do any type of protection. If there was an amendment like, I mean, they already try and give her, abortion. Affects a lot of women. Contraception affects a lot of women. Let's see. So it affects men as well. A lot of guys don't want to be fathers, so they pressure the woman to have a abortion, take the morning after pill. If you get rid of those options, do you really want these terrible dads to raise kids? They're gonna beat the shit out of their kids, beat the shit out of their wives. I mean, if you think that's bad, I mean, over there, like in the Middle East and any Muslim country, you are allowed to beat the shit out of your wife. She is property. You have to be very, very careful. All right, let's see what else is next.
To create. And does that make some of us feel like a little uncomfortable at times? Is that a little bit of an uncomfortable idea?
It is, though.
It is. And that's the discomfort, right? I mean, it's just so important to pause on this.
Yeah.
Like that sense of discomfort, that's the whole ballgame. That is the pill we swallow to secure our freedoms. That's the reality.
Absolutely. So what would you say to someone like Biden? So for instance, Biden says, well, he kind of laughs at it and says, you're going to need more than your stupid little guns. We have F-16s and bombs and all types of things. There's no way you people could ever stop the government from doing what it wants, stop the government from overreach in that manner. What would you say to someone like that?
Well, I'm not sure that Biden could say that as coherently as you just did. And you know, I think one of the mistakes we sometimes make on our side. I don't know if you lean. I mean, I assume you're conservative leaning, you know, guy.
I consider myself just right of center.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because you're gonna be, if you're gonna be pro Second Amendment and you can be left of center and all the things, I'll still say good for that because at least you understand the Constitution. But I would say a mistake that many people on the right would make, many of my peers in the presidential race or otherwise, they'll talk about Joe Biden while failing to recognize he's not even the person in charge. He's just a symbol. He's a puppet of a managerial class and agenda deeper than him. But I think that's a view that you sometimes hear is, well, it's never going to help you anyway. I don't think that's so true. You want to know? You don't know why? I can give you a separate example in another country. The Chinese state media, okay, got really rankled. I was under their skin apparently when I gave my speech at the NRA. When I said, you want to actually figure out how we secure Taiwan, deter China from invading without actually us going to war over it, turn Taiwan into a porcupine. Put a gun in every Taiwanese household, open a branch of the NRA there, train them how to use it. You tell me whether China's going to invade. They are scared out of their minds out of a people who actually have a Second Amendment. And you know who else has the equivalent of F-16s and B-23s and B-2s and everything else and submarines and you know, full-on military and a naval capacity ahead of the United States is actually China. So I think that for a government, they want to still have a people left to rule, right? So it doesn't work like, yeah, there's nuclear weapons, but like then everybody's out. Who are you going to exercise power over, right? And so that argument doesn't really work even if you put yourself in the shoes of the monarch or the autocrat. No. I need you to exist because I have to exert my power, dominion, and control over you. And so yes, you're.
Okay, I mean that makes. Well, okay, I do agree with that. That does make sense. Like, you know, if you are an authoritarian government, China or somewhere from the Middle East or whatever, destroying the entire country, bombing every single person or nuking them, doing a bunch of, that's not gonna help. But still, there's if you want, obviously, arming the Taiwanese will be helpful. But it'd be, submarines, planes, jets. Want to put small arms in their hands for training, all that helps out. But you need allies. Biden has done pretty well, trying to reconnect with Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Burma. Burma's kind of fucked up. Burma fucked up with the junta right now. Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea. Let's see. That's mostly it. I'm thinking what else. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. So that does make sense. And I love how he mentions, autocrats, dictators and all that, and like he has all his bravado towards, China, but nothing towards Russia. Russia helping out Ukrainians, that's just helping Joe Biden and his son money laundering and all that, and like, oh, very, Ukraine's border banana owned. I mean, the southern border for a long time it's been pretty bad. I mean, I know a lot of people love to bring it now. I think Trump made it like, really big thing, like, oh, I'm gonna make Mexico pay for the wall. Never happened. Mexico never paid for it. We paid for it. Our own fucking tax money. And it didn't really work. Do you know why? Because they didn't fund the border patrol. What the heck is part of having a border patrol and have people guarding it? And Mexico, America needs to fix this relation with Mexico. Both sides need to patrol the border. Mexico's having too much time with corruption and unfortunately cartels in certain areas. So that's drawing a lot of resources to other places. Not much on the border. America. I mean, Texas wants to. I don't know if Texas has sent any troops. What about California or New Mexico or whoever? You guys sent any troops? Sent any money? Done anything? Nope. Complain about it, but do nothing. All right, let's see what else this retard says.
You're darn right. The Second Amendment is indeed what keeps that government at bay.
Absolutely. So, let's say, for instance,
And can I just make one more comment? Because this is a good conversation, right? We don't. Everyone's just like, I support the Second Amendment without getting into the why.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing: is that argument just paves the way for why. You know, the counter argument sometimes you'll hear from some people is that, well, it just means the weapons that existed in 1776 were the only ones that we had the freedoms to own. The other argument cuts the other direction. Forget the nuclear weapons, but like the government does have a lot bigger guns than the ordinary people do today. So that changes what the Second Amendment means today relative to what it did mean in 1776, back when the government only had, you know, the muskets that they had back then. Exactly, right? The equivalent of cannons or nuclear bombs, and the equivalent of muskets or automatic weapons that the government has too. So that's all I would say on that point too.
No, I love that. I love that. Is there? Okay, so the other side. When I say the other side, I don't mean it dismissively or flippantly.
Yeah.
But the other side likes to say, well, you guys never compromise. You never compromise. You never give an inch. Is there anything that you'd be willing to say compromise, or is there any type of gun control law that you say, you know what, maybe we should look into that a little bit further?
Here's what I say, and I say this on all issues in the campaign. This isn't just restricted to 2A. I think we're in bad need of national unity. We are a badly divided country. And I understand, even many other Republicans who I respect and admire, they believe the right way to get there is through compromise. I don't think the way we get to national unity is by compromising on our ideals. I think the way we get to national unity is by actually being uncompromising about the ideals that unite us as Americans. E pluribus unum means from many one. The ideals that unite America, the ideals of 1776, those are radical ideals. Those are ideals that should make most of human history feel a little uncomfortable. Free speech, Second Amendment, open debate, self-governance, the idea that we, the people, select our leaders through a constitutional republic rather than in the back of palace halls. Those are extreme ideals.
Yeah.
But that is what makes us ourselves. That's what makes America great. That's what makes America America.
Put some term limits and get rid of dark money
out
out
of this country is actually by rediscovering, dare I say it, the radicalism of the American Revolution. Now, we have pragmatic issues in this country.
Yeah.
Like a rise in violent crime. We do. You don't want that, I don't want that. And you know, even many of our friends on the left, that's what concerns them. So my point is, let's not just like split the baby over here. No, let's go over there and figure out the real problem. The mental health epidemic across this country. We have to have the courage to talk about removing, instead of removing guns from law-abiding citizens, let's have the courage to talk about removing severely psychiatrically deranged people who pose a danger to their communities from those communities. That's a hard conversation. But if you want to address the root cause, that's what this is about. I'm a parent of two sons. You have a family? You're not yet. You're younger than you're
About a year older.
generation. Okay, you look younger.
Yeah.
That's why, because kids will do that to you.
My mom's not happy with that, but that's another story.
Kids will do that. Kids will do that to you. Okay, but here's what I'll say is, I say this like, look, my older son's about to enter school. And does it give me some deep pause and concern when I see yet another school shooting in this country? Yes, it does. You want to know who's doing it? Mentally deranged, psychiatrically ill people. And you want to protect our kids? Protect our kids.
Yeah.
For 25% of what we...
You want to do that? I mean, we have severely underfunded our mental health issues. Belittle them. We think they're dumb, stupid. You know, you just got man up. You're a man, you know. Don't take antidepressants. Don't take, you know, bipolar medicine or ADHD medicine or talk about your feelings or any of those type of things. I think so many school shooters are men and also like in that high school, college area because they've gone through so much hell, so much stress, and no one wants to help. No one wants to talk to them. No one gives a absolute crap about them. So yeah. I mean, and they're belittled all the time. They're not a real man. They can't support themselves or support their family. You know, on one job, being the number one breadwinner, being the shepherd of the household. So yeah, there's a lot of problems. And you know, you want to fix them. Obviously, funding mental health issues. One, funding a better education is another one. Another one would be raising the minimum wage, getting better jobs, especially in major cities. Detroit, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, Compton, Houston, Dallas, Galveston, Miami, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Cleveland, New York City itself, Buffalo, go on and on, Kansas City. So yeah, hopefully this helps out. Because you can't just say, oh, we should fund this and that, but nobody mean. I know this guy doesn't mean it. If he did, he and many other people put down, proposals, on their website, like, oh, I'm gonna put, let's say $2 billion mental health. But then they're gonna say that's too expensive. Because unfortunately, you have to look at your taxes and redo your tax system, make it a little more progressive, and make sure the rich pay their taxes. Corporations, they aren't doing. Thankfully, the Inflation Reduction Act does at least make some corporations pay some taxes. Instead of 5 or 7%, they're paying 10, maybe 15%. That's better than nothing. I know Republicans want to get rid of that shit. Sad, because you need funding. You need fucking funding to fund this shit. You don't want to fund.
We spend in the federal Department of Education. By the way, that's the federal government. It has nothing to do with local education. For less than 25% of that, we could put 3 armed security guards in every school across this country. So we've got to have the courage to actually solve the real problem rather than doing the thing that they're even doing in Tennessee now. They haven't released the Nashville Shooter Manifesto, yet Republican Governor Bill Lee is literally, within days, convening a special session of the legislature to pass a red flag law, to take guns away from law-abiding citizens as opposed to taking actual problematic people, psychiatrically deranged people, out of their communities. That's what we need to have more of an honest conversation about. That's what takes real courage, not just passing another red flag law.
Gotcha. So when we were in this shooting, we shot semi-autos, we shot full autos, we shot lever action. What are your feelings about full auto? Because right now we have the NFA that says, which basically more or less bans fully automatic guns from regular citizens being able to own them. How do you feel? What is your position on full automatic, regular people being able to own fully automatic weapons?
I think that's what's constitutionally required. The government has fully automatic weapons. I think that's exactly what's enshrined in the Second Amendment. As a side note, I also enjoyed shooting it. And it was a fun experience, right? I was actually, I told you, I'm not like some expert shooter. I've shot semi-automatic. That might have been my first time shooting an automatic at a range, actually. But it's not because I like that, and that's fun. No, that's not the reason why, actually. The reason why is it is what the modern understanding of the Second Amendment in the world we live in today means, in the same way that George Washington, if he were alive today, would mean it. That's really why. It's an originalist understanding of the Constitution and the purpose of the Second Amendment.
That's awesome. Absolutely. So I'll leave you with this one last question. It's something.
All right. I'll grab me some water. Thirsty. All right. BRB. Alright, I'm back, guys. Need my water, and I'm gonna watch this guy. He makes a few smart arguments, but not enough to make me vote for this guy.
Then I just thought about it on the spot. It's an
Way
idea
too
that I had.
strange.
It came to me. If you were to become president, and we talked about not putting in no more gun control laws, and being able to address the root cause of whatever issues.
That's very important, though.
Right?
I'm big on that. Yep.
Yes. How would you feel about, like, we're spending billions and we're sending billions of dollars to other countries, right?
Yes.
And my biggest thing for me is we live in a country with over 300 million guns, right? But then we have a culture that's divided where you have a group of people on this side who know a lot about firearms and another group of people who don't know very much about firearms and are like, ew, guns icky. And you become president. Would you be in favor of creating an incentive for people to become better educated and to become more responsible and learn gun safety on a national level?
I quite like that a lot, actually. I quite like that a lot. It goes along with, so there's some deeply nationalistic elements to my platform. I'll give you one of them, and we don't have to go down this rabbit hole here because there's been plenty of controversy around it. But my view is that every 18-year-old, in order to get the right to vote, has to either pass the same civics test that an immigrant has to pass, or else do at least 6 months of military or first responder role, which is generally police or military. Well, what do you get in the police or military? You get training on how to use a gun, right? And so I don't favor necessarily the government mandating it, but to say that, hey, because I also, in that context, would decriminalize selective service. Young men now have to register for the draft effectively between ages 18 to 25. I say eliminate that. But instead say, if you want the civic privileges, like voting, well, then you have to know something about the country or serve the country. I think as part of that, I like that. I mean, I don't want to make a presidential policy on the fly here, but the intuition is, I like baking that into almost a form of civic education. Actually, because it is part of what's baked into citizenship, is that which is baked into the Constitution, and the Second Amendment is absolutely baked into that Constitution. Is that somebody to teach them to be a hunter on the weekends? No. It's actually to prepare them as a citizen and to understand what the stakes are, when push comes to shove and times get bad, and from time to time in human history they do. That's the backstop that we're up against. And I think that more people will probably emerge with a greater respect for not just the Second Amendment, but the entire Constitution if we did do it. So I think our conversation and me having to respond to you might have just convinced me into a pretty strong vision of citizenship, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of an idea that I've grown to over the times of what I've been doing from an advocacy perspective.
I like that a lot.
I have so many people on both sides that I know, and I'm all for everyone going out and being responsible gun owners, but I want them to be responsible gun owners. I'm not saying mandate. I don't want to be mandated by the government.
Yeah, but we create the opportunity for it. We create the opportunity for it, the space for it.
Absolutely.
In the same way, I mean, the concept of what I say, the same civics test about our history and our Constitution that an immigrant has to pass in order to be a citizen of this country. If you think about the Constitution as an operating manual and the Second Amendment as an operating manual, maybe you want to know the operating manual of how to take advantage of your Second Amendment rights. I quite like it.
Interesting.
Smart.
I'm not a big fan of it being
Thank you very much
mandatory.
for taking the time.
Man, you're the man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep
Love
up
it,
the
brother.
good work. And
Enjoyed shooting with you.
I just wanted to also tell you, man, there's a lot of good ways to have an impact on the country. And I say this as somebody who is not from the world of politics. I'm not a politician. I built businesses. That's my background. I barely, came over the hump to say, okay, this is what I need to be able to do to make my contribution to the country. But I say this to you is,
it's a nice P90
change in this country too.
background.
And I think that if your voice is reaching more people, especially because you're not some political hack. You're not offering some sort of just platitudes about, rah rah Second Amendment without saying the why. You're an intellectually curious guy. I think you will have an opportunity to persuade people who otherwise might have thought themselves dogmatic on this issue and more broadly on our Constitution too. So keep at it.
Absolutely.
That's important. It's not just going to come from the White House.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Colion.
Yes, sir.
Good seeing you, man.
You too.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol.
Let's
For
see
products
who
featured
else
in this video, click the links in the description.
A lot of people think that in order to conceal carry, you're going to need a tactical belt and a set of jeans. Well, I'm here to tell you,
Let's see what else should we react to. How long have I been? Almost 2 hours. I think that's pretty good. I think after 2 hours, I'll probably stop. It's my first time doing this, so I have a lot of bumps and lumps to learn. Let's see what else it is. Um, don't care about Black Clover all that much. Let's see. Anything in my history I want to review much. I see cute very mean. Let's see. Let's see. You know that. Another video I want to do is. I'm thinking about playing Lear. I mean, right now I'm playing Lust Shards right now. I'm on Aiden's path. Yeah, right now I am on Aiden's path. I'm at the first practice. Because I know they completed, Lust Shards Chapter 1. They completed Dallin, Aiden, and Tate's chapters. If I finish Aiden, play Tate and Dallin. I mean, I like all three of them. This is the first time I actually like all three leads. Each one like kind of hits a certain thing. My personal favorite is Aiden, the tiger, but Dallin's great. Dallin the wolf, and you got Tate the little kitty cat. I'm going through Santa Lucia. I finished that up. I'm a few updates behind now. I finally, that game is pretty long. It's pretty meaty, especially Brian's path. Carlos, I finished pretty quickly, and that I have not touched the smoke room. I'm not touching Nick's path in a good couple of weeks. And right now, like I said, I've been playing Lust Shards, and I did down Lear, which I heard is supposed to be really good. I don't know anything about it except for like I saw one preview of it by Keith Ballard. This guy right here, you might know him from yes, the Legacy is Gay video, and There Will Be Tears. Part of 2, he's probably most well known for. Let's see. Check out this
with a
video a
shape
little
of
bit.
an L on his file microfiche. Probably was, but also like they keep mentioning that they mentioned that the only otter that lives here still is.
Let's see. I do like Keith and his friend Stephanie's commentary on this game. It's pretty good. Obviously, Keith knows a little bit more about Echo, and because obviously he's been exposed to like the smoke room, and he did Archers. He already did Archers, and I remember watching Echo shit way a long time ago on her channel, Vivian Jade. Back then, before she transitioned from male to female, he was known as Deco Link back then. Male. Did that. He did a bunch of different games. He worked on the Smoke Room. He hasn't touched that in a long time. Has not touched Tennis Ace. That's another one I like a lot. Oh man, I need to redo fucking June's route. That's gonna be a pain in the fucking ass redoing old June shit. That's the only one I don't want to redo, but I have to redo it so when I get the newer updates, hopefully it doesn't break my fucking game. Like, I want to see what happens with K-Skate, right? He's my favorite. No one ever likes K-Skate, but hey, K-Skate is my personal. Oh yeah, it was a name. Oh yeah, Dirk the Panda. Well, he used to be known as Dirk the Red Panda. I know a lot of people have been talking about Remember the Flowers. Apparently that one's supposed to be really good. Don't know. Oh, he did this is not it? Oh. I know he did
I'll just say no like a normal person. Sheesh.
I thought he did Beyond that. Oh yeah, here you go. Oh, I'm gonna go back and I never finished this one. You know, I already know what happened. I've obviously
Sound of the audience
I played this
drowns
part.
away as Arushihara is gasping and coughing. Well, it drowns it out. He's barely even able to.
And like I feel like K's path in Penn State is really good. I think out of all of them, I think he might be the best boyfriend for you. I mean, he's not perfect. He has a lot of flaws. Well, but compared to like Shuichi and June's path is like maybe the most toxic one. I mean, June's really good. God, all the shit he does, well, it happens to Yuichi because of June is pretty bad. Okay, Yuichi does to Yuichi is also really bad. So Keisuke does perfect either, but I still think he's
The stand. It's more than clear that he's pushed himself far past his limits. I stand silently on my spot, watching him with interest for several seconds before something within me stirs. Finally, I realize that I shouldn't be watching him as if he were something. Seriously, what the hell am I doing? I jump over the net, rushing towards Keisuke and extending a hand to help him back onto his feet. Keisuke looks up at me, his eyes darting from my hand to my face.
this is after.
And I can't lie, it breaks my heart a little to see the way he looks at me when our eyes meet.
Oh yeah, this is after he got out of his.
Let me help you up. You did far too well to be lying on the floor like this. Hold your head.
This is like Keisuke had all those secret.
For a brief second, I worried that he might refuse my help. But with an audible sigh, the hair grabs my hand with a resounding smack.
Oh yeah. Besides that, what else is it? Like I said, I'm playing Santa Lucia. I've already finished Echo. I finished Nico Jishi. Played the original Morinatsu back in the day, and that's mostly it. Like I said, finished both Carlos and Brian's Path in Santa Lucia. I probably need to update to get to play more of Carlos's Path because unfortunately Carlos's Path ends in Act 2 very early. You don't get enough time with him compared to Brian. Brian, you get a lot of time in the end in Act 2 and Act 3. I can't wait to go back to Israel. Nick's path is kind of interesting. Still in the beginning of it, so I don't know how good or bad it is. I have to say both Murdoch and William's path really, really good in the smoke room. I have to say, playing William's path made me like that character a lot. I like Murdoch. He was my favorite. And, the others were okay. Then I played William's path, and I'm like, wow, I understand why a lot of people like William. I thought he was like, whatever. Is he gonna be like, gonna be some asshole? He is somewhat of an asshole, but it is a reason why. Pretty understanding person like. you kind of understand why you like him. You can see how him and Sam were together. But Sam and Murdoch's a good couple as well. Murdoch and Cliff also really great. I'm thinking about buying, like looking at Cliff's, outfit and buying that and see cosplay as Cliff or Murdoch because they have very simple clothing. Gotta get like a pants, shirt, vest, tie, and I know with Murdoch I'll need a little camera. I probably just use I probably don't have a fancy. I probably don't have a old school camera, but I could just use like a fancy, camera. I think we have a DSLR. I think my brother has one. I could use that. Like, take pictures. And Cliff is just pants, shirt, short, little vest, like a little diner vest. Diner vest. I forgot what it's called. I know it's quite common in the 3-piece suits. Vest you wear your suit itself, you have your pants, and then your little vest right there. Your tie, little tie clip on there. Let's see what else is that. I don't think there's anything else that I think of. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Like I said, I'm really enjoying Lost Shark. It's a great game. Very interesting. It takes the concept from one of those hentai slash furry porn games where you gotta get the monsters horny before you beat them, like it's a strategy game. And you it's kind of like that fantasy trope, like and then it's almost it has elements of the Hunger Game, Dragon Age slash like Baldur's Gate kind of thing. The main character breaks the fourth wall a little bit, very much like Deadpool. They mentioned the internet and Netflix. So it has like that kind of modern stuff, like hey, like they got cars, and all that. They have a bunch of references to like I think like furry stuff and just weird meme stuff, anime stuff, video games, all that type of stuff. Pretty interesting. What else is that? I'll see it. I have not tried Lear. I don't know how good or bad that one is, but from the looks of it, people like it a lot. And the last game I played that was really good was In Case of Emergency. That was a complete furry visual. That one is complete. Echo is complete, and Hikujishi is complete. I think that's mostly it. Mostly about a furry game is still incomplete. NSA's is still incomplete. The Smoke Room is still incomplete. No, wait, I think Adastra is complete. Never played it. Glory Hounds, incomplete. Lear, incomplete. Santa Lucia, complete. Moanatsu Revisited / Moanatsu Homecoming, still incomplete. You got that new one, Northern Lights. I think there's one called Rain Check that just came out. Remember the Flowers, Minotaur Hotel or Motel, something like that. Another one a lot of people have been playing. Oh, Arches is complete. Yeah, Arches. Yeah, that team has worked on so many games. They worked on Echo, Arches, The Smoke Room, Astra, Amia, Inertia, I think, another one. We're working on Glory Hounds right now. It's pretty crazy how much crazy ass shit they worked on. And they just keep going and going and going, man. Alright, let's watch a little bit more of Dirk the Red Panda play this game. I love his little avatar. I love his PNG avatar. It's very good. Way better than mine. Like, he has a bunch of sprites. We could be happy, sad, angry. I only have no talking and just talking.
Not really. It takes every ounce of
Hate that.
restraint within me to keep myself from hugging him then and there. For one, I know KSK isn't the type to appreciate that kind of overly public display of affection.
Hold hands.
Now and again when no one else can see.
Hug each other.
If only for
Love
the
each other.
thrill of fearing we might get caught.
Cares you get caught.
Surrounded by all these people? Worse still, they might think that I'm taking pity on him. And if there's one thing he doesn't deserve after all this, it's pity. You did great, KSK. I hope you know that. I don't really feel like I did. I've never had my confidence so thoroughly dashed into a million pieces before. I wish I could say it was humbling, but I'm not really in the place for that kind of self-reflection at the moment. Fuck, I really didn't mean to. God, no, stop it. This is the same thing I was doing before the match. I won't pity him. I refuse. We both did our best. At least we can take pride in that, right? Pride is a little beyond me right now. I willingly stooped to the level of mind games and manipulation in an effort to beat you, only to get beaten myself more thoroughly than ever before.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're playing against the main character. He has that anime power, being really good at sports.
I was right. You really were keeping all that stuff secret so you could get to me when you used it. Yes, I'm sorry. I offer no excuse. I don't know why, but you saying that like it only makes me feel worse. I'm so conflicted about the whole thing. I doubt I'll be able to think clearly on that matter for a while. To begin with, the adrenaline and the exhaustion certainly do not help with rational thought. Not to mention the fact that I don't think I'll be able to think rationally on this all regardless. It's too emotional of an issue for me in the first place.
Yeah, man. Lying to you.
We should probably head out. I'm sure the others are waiting. I suppose.
Devastating. Like your boyfriend was hiding all these special techniques.
Things are really awkward between us right
and
now.
unfortunately, he unlocked his special technique and
We
just
walk out
obliterated you.
silence, and the entire time I am holding
And you
my
lost
breath
one
and
set
counting the
against.
steps until we reach our friends, so I can get
But you
rid
still
of this
won all the
strange
games.
mood looming over me.
Crazy.
Saya, Shoichi, Aki, and Jun quickly swarm around us once Keisuke and I go through the door, all of them staring at us in a mix of glee, shock, and awe. You guys! That was amazing! Hey there,
Unfortunately, most female characters in a lot of these games aren't that great. I know a lot of people find Saya and Hotoka-chan annoying. Maybe Yuichi's mom, Shuichi's mom, Jun's mom, some of the other female, characters in school, but they don't play that big a role. I mean, I think the only female character that plays a pretty big role is Jenna in original Echo. Then you have Cynthia in Smoke Room, and you have Madame Dora, I think, who lead lady of the prostitute site / bar, the Hip. You do got, I can't remember her name, but Williams, Williams' ex-wife and Murdoch's mom and sister. The role. In Santa Lucia, your best friend is a girl, Karina, and she just goes through boyfriend like it ain't nothing, man. Then there's Shannon, her name's Shannon, female wolf whose boyfriend is Chris Shepard. Okay, then there's the professor, and then there's the dean, Miss Fernandez, but she barely plays much of a role. She's like in 1 or 2 scenes, and that's it. Bad. Girls, Lucia, 10 say something. Pretty much no female characters really in Nekojishi, or I think more Natsu, maybe your grandma or something like that, or someone's random mom, but that's it. You get like a one line, no sprites. That's how it usually is for a lot of the games. I think Adastra may have some female characters, if I'm not mistaken, but I never played it, so I don't know. Arches mentioned some female characters, but that's it. They get some speaking lines, but no right. Remember what's that game? Lost Shards. Like, even though you don't date any of the female characters, the females, at least 2 female characters have sprites: the big bunny lady and the squirrel girl, huge titties. Ooh, oh my god! But she loves being an inventor. She reminds that one inventor girl from fucking My Hero Academia, who's all over Deku, which makes sense because your guy's almost like a Deku-like character. I mean, I bet you when working that game, they were probably influenced a lot by My Hero Academia. See that, obviously, Tennis Ace is influenced by a lot of Japanese anime, Prince of Tennis. Oh, there's extracurricular activities. Your woman who runs the orphanage, Maria, with her big fat titties. There's I think Spencer's mom, and then there's Coach Grifter's ex, who's crazy, batshit insane. That's it. Yeah, not a lot of good female representation in a lot of these very visual novels. Usually, they're just there for a quick couple of lines, right? Usually, a rival, someone's a force rival, like, I'm going to take your man, or I'm the ex-girlfriend, crazy ex-girlfriend. Or she's just there for moral support. Oh, yeah, repeat. You have Jenny, Jenny, and her, her wish was stand. A female as well, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna help you, hook up with Sissel or Owen. It's like, suck that dick, yeah, suck all the dicks." Let's see. Well, that's mostly it. Sadly, I made good. I'm not gonna lie, I made good female representation. Most, unfortunately, sadly, the furry visual novels are usually gay, so they don't really waste too much time on women. Even though, you have good female representation, they don't have to be some rival. They can be interesting characters in the story. I think, yeah, Echo's the only one that you can actually make your character bisexual and actually have sex with Jenna. But you can still go down a route and never have sex with her. Keep her as a friend, or say you know what? I'm gonna put my dick all inside you, just like Clifford or Cliff from the Smoke Room. A lot of people didn't know that, but he's actually bisexual as well. Oh, HK, the rabbit right here in the middle, friends, also bisexual. Aki's heterosexual, gay, bi, gay, and heterosexual. So term you want to use?
Sai-chan.
Oh yeah.
How much of the match did you see? I got here about halfway through the 3rd set.
Oh.
Yes, it was like you were all going zoom, and then the balls were all going zoom, and the guys kept running after them all fast and hitting them back, and it was like, sure, you go and get them. It was awesome. What he said.
Oh, yeah, Shuichi. Super jealous.
What about that was awesome? I got trounced harder than I ever had before in my life. It was pathetic. There was nothing pathetic about it. You did way better than could be expected in that situation. What situation? Sure, I may have won a set, but other than that, this was the worst result I've ever had against Nico. I mean, seriously, 6-2, 6 games to 1. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up too much over it. Even we were shocked. I haven't seen Nico play that way in forever. In what way? Are you kidding? He looked exactly like he did back when he was still the #1 player in our age group. Nico was always that dominating in his matches back then. If anything, it's the last 3 or 4 years that have been weird for him. Like an extended off-season. I don't think you were using that word right, Sayani. Am I? Never mind. I see. I suppose it would make sense for me not to remember it that well. I wasn't as serious about tennis before middle school. Still,
That's me.
You should give yourself a little more credit.
That's me. That's me in the comments. Oh no, I just got back. I missed so much. I missed quite a bit. Oh, dude. I know Case K's route like the least played. I think there's only 3 people that has played his route. Number 1 was Vivian. She did, I think, June. I think she did Luigi, June, Case K. Well, he also did the same thing. I think Luigi, June, Case K. I think June is still Vivian's favorite. While Luigi, Dirk's favorite, and also Drake and Gaming did Shuichi Keisuke, which was shocking, and then June. And I know which one his favorite. Just yeah, I should ask him. Maybe on YouTube. I made a bunch of videos about Tensei/Keisuke on my TikTok. I just did another video right now on, actually 2 videos on Lust Shards. One was about Aiden's path, and one was just in Aiden's path. No, I think it was Santa Lucius. They did a video on Santa Lucius. One video on Lust Shards. Them eating Indian food. It's at least 3 different visual novels. I know they eat Indian food. First one was Tennis Ace. Second one was Dawn Chorus, and now Lust Shards. And it's just me making comments on it. I'm not saying it's wrong. The only thing I would like is maybe they mention some more stuff. Like they mentioned butter chicken. They love mentioning butter chicken. They only mentioned biryani once. Chai or masala chai. I think that's it. And I don't know. Only one of them, maybe 1 or 2. I know Lust Shard mentions a flat bread, which I'm guessing is non bread. I don't know if it's regular naan bread or is it garlic naan. Fucking garlic naan is delicious, man. So good. Fill up on that stuff. There's also other good bread. You got regular roti, paratha, chapli, not chapli, roti, naan, paratha, puri is very good as well. Chapati, that one. Oh, my mom likes chapati a lot. Can't say the taste of it. I love naan. Naan's like naan bread is so good. You get full off of that shit, man. Especially, oh man, dude, yeah. But it is good, man. Especially with chicken makli, aka butter chicken. It's also good. Korma, cut, fry. Chaos Cat Gaming. Hey. Hello. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome. This is my first time ever doing this. Comes to doing reactions. So I'm just reacting to a bunch of different things. So I don't know how good or bad I'm doing this. It's all new to me. Boy, look at that Inception. It doesn't look very good. Let me know how I'm doing this. I already reacted to a bunch of furry memes. I reacted to some gun stuff, and now I'm just rewatching this let's play of Tennis Ace, Case Path, by Dirk the Panda. I was gonna say Dirk the Red Panda because he's a red panda, but he has other forms. So let's see what's happening with Keisuke after losing the tennis match.
Could have predicted Nika would go off like that.
Zombie 4. How's that?
Still can't describe it all that well. The whole thing feels like a blur. My body started moving on its own. If anything, I guess I was just happy? In a way.
Very thankful, very grateful for any raids, any support. Thank you guys so much.
Again. I know it sounds silly. It's something I notice myself too. But even if you notice that you're not having fun, that doesn't mean there's something you can do to fix that. But once I get in the groove like that, I just did. I was having fun.
He's going back to the old
just getting to play
old
tennis
Yoichi.
Fun. Getting to
he's like a phenom beast. He's like ultra instinct, man.
Fun, huh?
Keisuke's good at tennis, but unfortunately he doesn't really have a whole lot of fun with it because
like
his
almost complete.
He doesn't have that natural talent. Like he has talent.
I know that's how things used
just
to
like
be for me, and I did get
like
close to that
Nico
sensation
or
a couple
Yuichi
of times this past
Saya.
year, but I never really got in. It's a very difficult feeling to describe. It's like everything is going well for me. I feel so euphoric and invincible. Like I can't make any mistakes.
Alright, let me read that. Let's see. Chaos says, so I may stream from my PS5 until I get my gaming computer set up. It is able to stream some sort of game that I'm very wanting to play. Okay, that's nice. Hopefully everything goes well with your PC setup. It took me about like 5 or 10 minutes to get my thing set up today. Like this, I've never done reactions before to any of my contents, whether it be on YouTube or here. So it's my first time ever doing this. So I'm learning what to do, what not to do. I created a new scene. I captured my PC screen. I'm just mostly gonna be reacting to YouTube stuff. That's what has a lot of stuff on there that might seem interesting to me. I've already reacted to some pretty interesting things. Already talked about some, I'll say, politically sensitive stuff like Second Amendments or guns or countries and so. And I watch a bunch of furry memes, and some of them were funny, some of them were good. I mean, I only have 2 more parts until the PC is finished. Excellent. That sounds cool. Yeah, I wish I had money to upgrade my PC. Like I would take this PC that I have, that my brother bought many years ago, and upgrade it. Like take everything out of it and upgrade it better. And also upgrade my monitors. My monitor's like 1080p. Maybe I can go to 4K monitors. And maybe if I had a better PC, I can obviously upgrade my capture card. And maybe I can go with that Elgato, 4K capture, start recording 4K. That was possible. The only other thing I would love to fix is my stupid mic. This fucking USB Blue Yeti mic, fucking pain in the ass. Works sometimes, doesn't want to work. And yeah, if everything goes well, if people like this reaction channel stuff, I might do it more often during the week. Like if I can't stream, like I don't feel like streaming a game, maybe I just replace that day with just me chatting, reacting to things. And that could be a good 2-hour chunk. I know some people can do more than that, but I don't know if I had a big audience or I had a more interactive chat, like, oh, we want you to watch and react to this thing. I'm not Hassan Piker here, who's able to watch all these things and get so many people watching and supporting him. Wish I could do that. That'd be nice. But let's back to the video.
My
Dirk
body
the Red
feels
Panda.
lighter, faster and stronger than ever. My reflexes are dialed to 11. My mind gets so much clearer. Just thinking about it,
He's in the zone, man. He's like it's like Kuroko no Basket. When
came out of nowhere.
Taiga,
Like my back was
Almine, get in the
and I stopped
zone.
caring about how Keisuke would feel. It just happened.
Oh wow! So when he, recorded this, I was at a concert, Man with a Mission. I love that, man. Oh, dude, maybe I should react to Man with a Mission.
Yeah, right. Like anyone could prepare themselves for that. I think you're taking this far too seriously. All at once, Keisuke's eyes glaze over. He looks at me up and down, but his expression gives away nothing. His eyes suddenly devoid of any warmth.
That was such an amazing concert, man. I love Man with a Mission.
Uh-oh. You, of all people, should know better than to say that. What? No, I didn't mean... Yeah, whatever. I don't really care what you meant right now. Just thinking about it, it's
all right.
A little frightening to think that so much can change just like that. It truly came out of nowhere. Once I felt like my back was up against the wall and I stopped caring about how Keisuke would feel, it just happened. Fair enough. I suppose I'll have to start inputting that kind of unpredictability into my calculations, huh? Yeah, right. Like anyone could prepare themselves for that. I think you're taking this far too seriously. All
He
at
puts
once,
it.
Keisuke's eyes glaze
Yuichi just
over.
put his foot in his mouth.
He looks me up and down.
Well, he should
but
have
his
said, like,
expression gives away
should
nothing.
have not said that.
His eyes
Pissing off his
suddenly
boyfriend like that.
devoid of any
Keisuke.
warmth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You, of all people, should know better than to say that. What? No, I didn't mean. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care what you meant right now. I think I need to be alone so I could cool down. Keisuke dismisses my attempt to explain myself with a sigh and a wave of his hand, instead electing to walk away. I'm caught completely by surprise, staring motionless as he leaves, unable to come up with anything to say in response.
Go after him.
And I don't seem to be the only one, since no one says anything. Everyone seemingly is too gobsmacked by Keisuke snapping like this that they react similarly to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide the chat.
It is
Just
only
make it a little,
once the air
look a little nicer.
View that someone finally speaks up. The hell? What's up with him? I've never seen Keikun like that. Did something happen?
Yeah.
Maybe he's still upset after losing. I know I wouldn't be feeling great right now if I were him either.
Don't know how
That
bad
makes
it is.
sense. I agree. We should probably let Keisuke-san be for a little while. That was still way too much for a harmless little comment.
I mean, Keisuke feels so bad. Like, obviously, he's been holding out in practice, lying to his boyfriend, and then the one time might have had a chance of beating him, his boyfriend unlocks his ultra instincts and just demolishes him, and pretty much tells him, like, yeah, it's impossible. You won't be able to calculate and predict this type of stuff, and you'll never be able to beat me. Yes, you don't want to say that. You know, it is true. He cannot beat him. No matter how hard he trains, he doesn't have that natural, talent and like love for the game. He's very logical, very much, cold and calculating, which can work to a certain degree, but not enough to overcome all those two. And let's see what else is. Oh, sorry, man. Sleepy. Oh man. Yeah. And then it is very hard to explain him going that zone and just destroying Keisuke, destroying all his methods, techniques, and skills and plans, just like that, very much like that happens with shonen protagonists, Goku or Deku, Ichigo, Luffy, all that type of shit. Keep coming back and back and back and back, That makes sense. Obviously you will not be able to beat him, but still at the same you shouldn't have said that. He's like, Keisuke, maybe I can help you to get better. Maybe I can help you, reach into the zone, feel it. I don't know, or like you just said, like something else. Obviously, if his friends weren't there, even if his friends were there, you know what he should have said? He said, I love you, Keith. I still love you. You're my boyfriend. We're gonna be together forever. Say something like that. Say something. Who cares if Jun and Shuichi, Saya, and Aki know? I mean, Aki already knows, man. I think Shuichi might know. Saya's not that dumb. I think the only one that doesn't know is Jun.
He's blowing things way out of proportion. I can't say anything to that. I can imagine why Keisuke would be upset. I said it without thinking, but I didn't intend for it to sound like that. You're taking it too seriously? What the hell did I even say? This is Keisuke I'm talking about. Even I didn't know of the circumstances. I know he's the kind of guy to take everything he does seriously. He wouldn't even consider doing something if he's not serious about it.
Yeah.
But more than that, I know why tennis is so important to him. I know of what's been going on with him and his family lately. That was a careless, boneheaded thing to say. God, this is frustrating. I'm gonna head to the front desk to report my match results. I'll see you guys in a bit. We can go with you. No, thanks. No, I'll be fine. I'll catch you guys later. But I also need to report. I don't bother to listen what Sai-chan has to say, instead electing to book it while I still have the chance. Cowardly? Probably. But I need some space right now, too. Not only do I still need to think about everything that just happened during my match with Keisuke and decide how I feel about this whole stunt, but I now need to think about all of this. In addition to also preparing for my match against Tanabe. Fucking hell. This is a nightmare. After leaving the competition's venue, I wandered around for a while looking for Keisuke. I thought it wouldn't take me long to find him, but in reality, the hair is a lot quicker on his feet than I expected, having completely disappeared by the time I went after him. Because of that, I walked around the outskirts of the venue at first, circling the area in a search for the hair. As the minutes stretched into hours, however, I began veering further and farther away. It also didn't help that, as the adrenaline began to leave my system, my body grew heavier and sore.
Ain't it? Rest.
I must have overdone it during my match against Keisuke. Some point, I decided to stop by a nearby place to get some street food in my system once I realized it was getting a bit late to head back and try to have lunch with everyone. Eventually, I wound up in a park halfway between the tournament's venue and our hotel. Not that I expected to find anything in here, but I simply had no other idea of where to go. Deciding that I could at least sit down to clear my head, I walked around the place, looking for a calm spot to relax for a bit. If I kept wandering around without taking some time for myself, I'm sure to regret it when the time comes for my last match of the day. But maybe fate, luck, whatever it is you want to call it, decide to have some fun at my expense. Because as soon as I decided to give up in my search for my boyfriend, I spot him sitting on the grass, in a hidden nook behind a few trees. It is only by a complete chance that I even managed that feat. If I hadn't been looking for a secluded spot for myself and merely continued walking by, I never would have. Decided to take it easy.
You found him.
Deciding to take it easy, I walk up to the hare and take a seat right next to him. Keisuke looks up at me as if to check the identity of this sudden intruder, but quickly looks away once he realizes it's me. Hey there. Hi. Still not in a talkative mood, huh? That's cool. I can work with that. It sure was tough finding you. You have no idea how much I had to walk. I was about to give up too. Sorry. Did you swing by the hotel? I see you got changed and everything. Yeah. I walked around aimlessly for a bit. Before I noticed it, I was back at the hotel, so I took a bath, get changed, and left the place again.
Oh, that's what you think. Took a bath and anything.
I don't know. Like I said, I ended up here without thinking of it. No. I mean, how come you left? If you want to be alone and clear your head, wouldn't that be the best place to be? Ah. Keisuke sighs, hugging his knees and leaning forward to rest his chin on them. I decide to let the silence hang over us for a while, not wanting to rush them to answer. I was planning to get back to cheer for you. I just happened to take a detour on the way. That is all. Is that so? Well, there's still about an hour before my match, so it's no rush.
I don't know why they had to make
Is it really okay for you to be saying
I think the match should have been delayed until the next day.
You be back at the arena at least? You'll be fine. I know I wouldn't be able to rest easy if I didn't talk to you first anyway. This way, it's much better for me. I see. I decide to scoot a little closer, up until the point that my body is barely brushing up against the side of Keisuke's. The hair twitches slightly at the contact, but otherwise doesn't do or say anything about it, allowing my intrusion into his personal space. I look at him for a while, trying to figure out the words to say. By the way, I'm really sorry for... don't. The apology that I've been mulling over for a few hours now gets promptly shot down before I can even begin to get the words out. I flap my mouth uselessly, unable to think of an appropriate response. Maybe Keisuke is still mad after all. But instead, after a long, drawn-out sigh, Keisuke turns his head, properly looking at me in the eye for the first time since I got here. Don't apologize when I'm the one being unreasonable. Don't take blame for something that isn't your fault. But, Nico, I mean it. Stop. I know I was an ass. I was frustrated and embarrassed that I overreacted. I know exactly what you meant. I shouldn't have snapped at you. I'm the one who's sorry. Oh. This has gone a lot more smoothly than expected.
Alright. Keisuke apologized.
Now I'm stunned for a completely different reason. I don't know what to say. That's fine. The hair smiles, the warmth in his blue eyes promptly melting away the anxiety that I've been feeling for a while now.
I'm good for now. I'm gonna end my stream now. I think that was a decent stream. Especially, doing anything like this. I apologize. It wasn't very good. Hopefully you can get better. Go. If you guys like what you see, please let me know. Please give me any type of feedback. I've done anything like this. Doing reaction stuff. All new to me. Hopefully I can do better next week. Sunday I'll do Yakuza. Monday be Assassin's Creed. Resident Evil, Quake, all that. Maybe throw in some reactions. Some of that. Thank you guys so much. No No, I'm a really small channel. No one really cares too much, but hopefully after today, more and more people are able to drop. See you later, guys.